Hello Korfball fans and welcome to this, the promotion playoff final for the 2024-2025 season. We're looking forward to an exciting game between BEARSTED in the purple and SUPERNOVA in the white. My name is Jess Davis and I'm joined in the commentary booth today by Liam Woodcock. Liam, what can we look forward to in today's game?
Well, I'm super excited to see these two go into action here at the K2 in Crawley. I think the games this season have been really tight between the two. Both teams have beaten each other one goal each, so that score is even. So we're sure going to be in for an exciting game here today. Certainly.
It looks as if we've got BEARSTED, probably the more experienced side. They're drawing on a lot of experienced players who've been playing for upwards of 20, 30 years. Against SUPERNOVA, a team on the up. They put in a really strong performance in their semi-final game against Birmingham City, something that I can attest to. Coached by Johan Osterling, former coach of Croydon City Korfball Club, Trojans, but looking forward to coaching SUPERNOVA here in their first promotion playoff game. So the teams will just set up now, looking to take their team photos from the experienced Marco Spelten, who joins us from the Netherlands. Grateful to have him here for another year.
I think he loves being here as well, Jess. He's always here at the finals, greeting the players, making sure that they're capturing these moments as well, so they have them as their memories moving forward.
Oh, definitely. Best in the biz. You wouldn't want anyone else taking your Korfball photo other than Marco. We've had a really exciting game this morning already. The fourth playoff between Trojans and Nomads. Nomads taking the win in that exciting game. Final score 2017 to Nomads. Bittersweet moment for Neela Brennan, coach of Nomads, but playing against them in that game while she played for Trojans. And then later we will be bringing you the final, the grand final of the England Korfball League between Beck, two-time winners, back-to-back winners, as they like to call it, looking to do the three-peat against Bristol Thunder. But for now, we look forward to this, the promo final. Both teams going to do their best, hoping to try and get that place, secure a spot in the England Korfball League next season. It's a good turnout today. We've got about 500 people, I hear, packed into the K2 in Crawley. We've got the BEARSTED fans nice and loud down to our right, and then onto our left, lots of SUPERNOVA support as well, so it should be a really fired up game. Andy Martinez will start with the ball. You've played in this fixture before, Liam. What kind of feelings will the players be going through at this moment? How nervous will they be?
Oh, I think this is the pinnacle of the nerves. I think once you start playing, you kind of ease into the game, but those first couple of minutes with the crowd behind you as well, you do feel those nerves, especially before the game, but once you take a few shots, get a few rebounds, get a few clean passes in, even maybe an interception, those nerves quickly ease and you just try and start playing your game and remembering everything that your coach has said before.
For sure, and so right, we'll start off with BEARSTED then. Dan Howard with the ball, passes to Tash Beckett, captain of BEARSTED. That's Andy Martinez with the ball, Tash Beckett from distance. Dan Howard going for the lean and collect, doesn't quite manage to get it, but kept in by Amy White. Good interception from Sam Tull. The SUPERNOVA crowd make themselves heard. Nice drive from Kathy Campbell-Haggart, but no feed there. Foul from Jack Chambers, I believe that was. Sending Tommy Soppett to the penalty spot. It's a high penalty from him, but it goes in. So SUPERNOVA taking the... Oh no, I'm corrected. Foot fault, I believe, from Tommy Soppett.
I think we saw that in the game earlier as well, Jess. With Nomads having a penalty ruled out for the same infringement. So players just getting used to the markings in this horse, a venue they've never played in before, or some of them maybe back in 2017 when we were last year, but not many of them.
For sure, and there's a lot of different lines on the floor, so it's a lot to take in. Big occasion as well, playing in front of this many people. Let's hope they settle into the game. BEARSTED just working hard to try and bring the ball out. SUPERNOVA putting a lot of pressure. This is something that we saw certainly in the semi-final that they played against Birmingham City. Something they really tried to work hard on was pressuring that ball on the way out, and it worked to great effect for them then. Okay, Dan Brown passing to Andy Martinez on the outside to Amy White. Shoots. No collect, but Dan Howard does win the rebound. Looking to get a bit more structure. Andy Martinez working hard on the outside. Shot from the one-shoulder, characteristic kind of one-shouldered shot from him, but Dan Howard wins the collect. Little drop off and puts it away. 1-0 to Bearsted.
It's going to be really important for those boys to make sure that they're following those boys out in those easy positions. As John Haggett gets his first goal of the game. I know he scored 7 in that semi-final last week. He's going to be a really important player for Supernova today. If he can keep that score ticking over, he's going to be a focal point in their attacks.
For sure. We'll talk more about John Haggett when he gets back into the attack, but for now, we look to Bearsted's attack. Long ball off the back from Vicky Kellaway, doesn't quite make it to Emma Wiseman, so Supernova will work it out. Bearsted not putting quite as much pressure on the ball out as Supernova were. So this is Sam Toll to Georgia Price-Bish. Again, another player who had a really, really strong semi-final performance against Birmingham City. Price-Bish into Morehouse, looking for Drury on the outside. The girls attacking. Price-Bish wanting the ball on the outside. Good pressure on the feed there from Andy Martinez. And well picked up. So that's Jack Chambers with the ball, passing off to Josh Meads. Vicky Kellaway from the outside. Again, really experienced ex-England international. Great drive in from Jack Chambers.
Really, really well run by Jack Chambers there.
Sending him to the penalty line. His penalty technique makes me slightly nervous. Seems to come forward really quickly, but hey, it works for him. It's gone in, so 2-1 to Bearsted, sorry. Sam Tull in the feed. Tries to turn back. Martinez is there. Price-Bish again driving in, what she did so well in that semi-final playoff game. But it doesn't go.
Yeah, I think that's what Supernova are going to be looking to do every time. They're going to be setting up that feed for their girls just to drive in with Leanne and Georgia down there, and that's how they're going to try and, well, score most of their goals, I think, with Sam doing a really good job under the post if he can.
Certainly. So this is Emma Wiseman for Bearsted. Off to Josh Meads, looking for the overball to Chambers. He's going to shoot from the back corner and it goes in. He's had a really good season in the Promo League, top goal scorer for the South Division. He's going to have a tough game though against the experienced John Campbell Haggett. Tommy Soppett squeezing his way through, trying to make it go, but it doesn't quite. And Chambers picks up the rebound.
Yeah, very different to what we saw in the National League game, where the teams were generally letting the ball come out of play. You can see at this level, Supernova especially, putting a lot of pressure on the Bearsted side to try and slow it down, maybe even slow down their scoring rate and trying to keep the game as close as possible.
Yeah, certainly. I think they're relying on that fitness and how hard they've worked. I know that, unfortunately for them, they did have their end-of-season social last night, so I think there might be a few sore heads, but they're professionals. They'll suck it up and play as hard as they can in this game. Martinez from the corner. Dan Howard does well to win it against Morehouse.
Oh, lovely pass there.
Great goal.
Good vision there by Dan Howard to see Pasha Beckett underneath the post.
Yeah, Bearsted looking strong. Good collect from Soppett. Walks the block with Wakeling. Trying to look for John Campbell Haggett, their talisman. Very distinctive shot that seems to come from behind his head almost.
I can tell you from experience, Jess, that's a very difficult shot to defend. You think you're out there and then he just takes that shot almost unknowingly, even if you do know he's about to take it. It really is something that's difficult to stop.
Good patience shown from Bearsted, playing all over the pitch. I mean, potentially using too much of the court, if anything. Playing really quite wide, but not afraid to take shots from distance. But Supernova win it back and work their way out. So now we'll see Soppett over to Campbell Haggett. Again to Campbell Haggett. That distinctive hat shot, as it's affectionately known by some, and good defence from Chambers. He's going to If he can stop Campbell Haggart from shooting, that's really going to restrict Supernova's options.
I think he's been tasked with that job though. They've met obviously a couple of times already this season. They'll have known from John's time at BEARSTED as well.
Unlucky there from BEARSTED. Martinez on the outside, a bit of a rushed shot, but a lot of pressure, too much pressure from Sam Tull, who follows through, provides some contact. Referee Jack Birch just having a little word with Sam Tull, just reminding him we don't need to put quite that much pressure on. Sends Martinez to the free pass line. Very distinctive shot from Martinez, kind of snatches at the ball. But he's got so much experience under his belt. He's been playing for years, back in the England League many years ago.
I think in my interview with Emma Wiseman before the game, that's something she definitely highlighted is BEARSTED's experience and how that could help pull them through today in this promo final. And we're seeing that at the start of this game for sure.
Yes, so many players in this BEARSTED side who've played in the England Korfball League before and equally played internationally, most of them for England. A couple of Emma Wiseman's played for Scotland, just retired this past year. White from the outside, nice shot from her. Dan Howard's doing a really good job under the post. Great ball into Beckett.
Almost symmetrical to that last goal. She just uses that kind of second phase just to exploit her player who switches off, looks at the ball. Nice finish there by Tasha Beckett on the inside.
Yeah, really clever play from BEARSTED. Price Bish just switching off slightly, playing against what seems to be a very similar style of player to herself, but nice drive in from Price Bish. Anything you can do, I can do better. Drive in from Morehouse doesn't go though.
I would have liked to have seen her just drive off the back of the post there just to get free from her player, Jess. I think that would have just given her an opportunity to get that shot up. She kind of stopped as she was driving in.
Yeah, good insight. Early shot from Wiseman, but picked up by Campbell Haggart. Morehouse at the back, looking for those girls. Again, the girls playing on the outside. Price Bish in the feed. Ball over the top to Tull. Oh, great ball into Morehouse, but he just can't squeeze it up from right underneath the post. Drury driving in. Picked up by Price Bish, who will take the shot, but it doesn't go. Bit of a scrappy attack there from Supernova. I think we'd like to see a bit more structure from them.
Yeah, I think they're really struggling to get an opportunity at the moment. I know they're looking to drive in, but they're not looking to take shots on the outside either, which is making it really predictable for BEARSTED in defence. They know exactly what Supernova are looking to do.
Again, bit of inexperience there from Supernova, working the ball out. Well picked up by Dan Howard, so BEARSTED retain the ball. Shot on the outside from Meads. Feels as if both teams are just getting over those early pre-match nerves and are just starting to settle into the game. Great drive from Price Bish. Good set there from Morehouse. 2 feet on the ground, took his time, popped it up and in it goes.
Yeah, just his defender just wasn't close enough, so he took that opportunity with 2 meters out from the post, and Jack Chambers there just falling a little bit short under the post, and BEARSTED just going to calm it down a little bit, I think.
Yeah, Soppit just getting caught unawares. But good hands from Campbell Haggart. Feels as if BEARSTED are starting to put more pressure on the ball on the way out. Drury then wants to shoot from distance, but good pressure from White. Morehouse into Drury, looking for Tull, but he can't get past Howard. The boys doing well, but yeah, goal from Morehouse. Clever play there from the boys, using that cutting motion to drive past each other and force the boys into each other. Bit of confusion.
Yeah, it was really, I think that's what that division have done well, just creating a little bit of confusion for the BEARSTED defence. So BEARSTED just bringing the tempo down. Hopefully we get to see that move again, because that's a really, really nice move. Unfortunately, I think they were called for cutting, I think. I missed the signal from referees Rob King and Jack Birch. But it's a clever play, stop it in the feed. I think if BEARSTED can stop these feeds, then they're gonna going to definitely be able to pull away in this game, because that's something that Supernova are looking to do time and time again, and it's the way they've played for a very long time, using their feed to exploit defences. So if BEARSTED could get on the front a little bit more there, then I think they're in a real good chance here of taking a solid lead in this game.
For sure, BEARSTED looking the more creative of the two sides at the moment. Wakeling with the ball into Soppit, good drive, but Wakeling finds herself in the mid-range. I think she was caught a bit between, do I take the runner, do I go for the shot? Ended up forcing it up, but not going. BEARSTED playing with a bit more control, looking for the ball over the back to Martinez. He manages to gather it. A lot of pressure on that pass from Sam Tell, too much pressure, says Jack Birch.
He plays on those margins though, Jess, Sam does. He knows that he's going to get some in his favour, and he just wants to disrupt the attack as much as possible.
Not a bad tactic. I mean, as you know, once it starts going to the free pass, then obviously yes, you have to take some adjustment, but to start with, yeah, not a bad idea. Get in the player's head, try and restrict Martinez where you can. Miscommunication between Kathy Campbell-Haggart and Tommy Soppit. How can Supernova get themselves back into this at the moment, Liam? It just feels as if the game's getting away from them. The score's not getting away from them, but they don't seem to have the possession that the BEARSTED seem to be.
No, I mean, I spoke to Johan before the game, and he was talking about their shooting percentages and having to work on them, and he's been doing a lot of work, I think, on just getting them to execute on those like normally low percentage shots as well. So those runners in, sometimes you are running at speed at the post, and it is hard to execute. So they've been really working on that. But I think in this division in attack at the moment, if John Campbell-Haggart isn't free, then they've got to look at who else is going to step up and get those girls. Obviously they're setting up with the two girls driving in, but you know, it's going to be really difficult if John can't get those drop-offs from the post that we know he's so deadly from. So I think they've got to try and think about maybe number 9 here, Tommy Soppit, stepping up, contributing a little bit more. But the game's just kind of hit that level at the moment where we've seen just a few passes going astray, and I think both teams just need to refocus on the structure a little bit more and make sure that they're getting a clean pass after clean pass. Exactly
that. I think the occasion's starting to get to both teams, so they've realised, okay, we're in this. It's it's only 2-goal deficit. That's certainly able to come back from. I think both teams just need to show a little bit more composure, just as you were saying. Good pressure from Price Bish. Beckett reclaims it, looking for the long balls, not on, so she passes to Martinez out the front, who will shoot from distance. I mean, that is really quite far out. A bit of an unnecessary shot. I mean, could easily have worked that in closer.
I think so. Obviously, he feels good, he feels free, but you've got to think how many of those shots actually go in. And in these types of finals, when that's a lovely drive by John Haggart. Sorry, interrupted there, but this is exactly what I mean. He's got to step up for his team. That's how they're here in the first place as a result of his goals.
Yeah, really great driving from Campbell-Haggart, and the finish was fantastic. Oh, nice shot on the outside from White, but it doesn't go. Dan Howard bullied out of the post by Tull, who again is doing really well to contain Howard at the post. A really experienced and knowledgeable player. Ball into Soppit, Price Bish in the feed, drives. BEARSTED putting a lot of pressure really quite high up the pitch. I mean, Supernova are doing well to exploit that at the moment, being sent to the free pass and penalty line regularly. Soppit then with a penalty. It's too long. Picked up by Wakeling. Well controlled by Campbell-Haggart. Off to Campbell-Haggart.
That's a good block under the post there. Got back round and defended her player really, really well.
Long ball from Chambers, hoping to get to Martinez. Doesn't quite go, but well picked up by White. Feed from Beckett, looking for that drive. Again, that move that BEARSTED do so well. They're not setting up with a collect, they're purely getting a feed from quite far out and driving through, and the players are getting caught unawares.
But I think this is something that both teams are looking to do at the moment. They're very feed focused and very high feeds. They just want to get in and get that support for their player to drive in on the inside.
Certainly, I think that's where you can see the difference in the level between players who have played Promo League for the last few seasons, and in comparison to the game that we saw earlier between Nomads and Trojans. And I know that's quite a gap that we're bridging there, but that's where you can see the difference in the standard. Here, we're very much focused on feeds, and the teams earlier had another string to their bow. They were able to play on the outside, which hopefully we'll see a bit more. That's a nice ball from Martinez.
Just a little bit too physical there. Rob King's calling it, so it will be a free pass. Yeah, but both of these teams, they're playing to step up into that league, so they've got to be able to have that bow to their string as well if they're going to be successful, if they get promoted.
Very true, and it is a hard step up. There's not many teams that have made that step up successfully. I mean, Bromley have done really well to maintain their position in the National League for next season. A team that we'll be talking a lot about later, Bristol Thunder, are another team who, not that long ago, were playing at the Copper Box, looking to get their promotion into the National League, and they've done so well to go from that team that is down the bottom of the table, and now they're in the final.
Well, I mean, BEARSTED are one of these teams, right? They're a team who were in the National League not too long ago, and they've had to really fight to get themselves back into this promo final again. And I know they've been in the playoffs for the last few years, but they've never quite been able to make that step to the final, so they'll be hoping they can get back into the National League today.
Ball over top to Wakeling. Nice shot from her, and it goes.
And that's exactly what we need to see from Supernova, because if they start doing that against BEARSTED, then BEARSTED are going to have to push out a little bit more, and it's going to again allow Supernova to go back to their game, which is focused around the feed, if they start taking those shots on the outside as well.
High feed from Kellaway. Out to Meads. Drives in, but can't get the ball through, and it's deemed to be a penalty. Too much pressure on that feed. Rob King just making sure the post is in the correct position for Meads' penalty.
Just add a little bit more pressure here for him. Doesn't feel it.
Doesn't feel it. Slots it away, takes BEARSTED out to a 6-5 lead. Ball over the top to Tull.
This is what he's going to do really well in the game, really hold that position strong for them in the rebound. I've refereed a couple of games for him this year, and he's done that extremely well for Supernova in those games. He's such a vocal point around that rebound and does it really, really strongly. Yeah,
really great awareness around the post. Again, could be a key player for them. He's got a tough matchup against the experienced Dan Howard. Used to be BEARSTED's coach, but now returned to playing. Takes his time. Oh, and again, just too long.
I think Supernova got to hope those two recent penalty misses don't, become costly later on in the games, because these finals are, and they tend to be really, really close at times. We look back the last few seasons, a lot of those games have been won by the one goal, the odd goal.
And like you said earlier, the head-to-head between these two teams in the Promo League this season, both have been decided by one goal, so those penalty misses could end up being crucial.
Yeah, an aggregate score of 37 all.
Ridiculous.
So there really isn't nothing to separate these two teams from the regular season. Obviously, BEARSTED finished top of the Promo division because Supernova did have a draw.
BEARSTED with a more convincing performance in the semi-final, shall we say. Losing at half-time to Manchester Hawks by one goal, but then keeping Hawks to a nil score in the second half and pulling away to win their semi-final 19-9, I think it was.
Yeah, phenomenal. To keep a team down to 0 goals at that level.
Shot on the outside from Price Bish, but perhaps a little hurried. So well picked off by BEARSTED. Working hard to work the ball out, not afraid to send it long to Martinez. Into Chambers, off to Wiseman. Looking for Kellaway off the back, but it doesn't go. Back out to Chambers out the front. Round to Meads. Wants to shoot from the outside, but again, really quite far out. Lots of pressure on Emma Wiseman out the front. Chambers wanting the ball, looks to give it the pump, but it goes in. What a great goal from him, really well worked.
Goal. He just sees that his boy's over-committed. Underarm shot from about 3 metres out. And that makes his 3rd goal of the game.
Yeah, we said he could have a really big impact in this match.
You can see he's been really physical with John Haggett there as he's moving into the post as well. I remember a game I played against him in the Promo division a couple of years ago, and he does have that about his game. He will want to upset you, disrupt you, and you see John Haggett there with a big smile on his face. He knows exactly what that's about, so it'll be interesting to watch that battle.
Oh, for sure, both giving as good as they get. Nice. Oh, I really appreciate the effort. from Beckett. Great idea. They're really looking to exploit that early run with the side feed. Ball into Soppit, but really well intercepted by Kellaway.
I mean, if BEARSTED can do that and interrupt Supernova for the rest of that game, and again, another interception there, we've seen a lot in the first half. These teams have struggled to get beyond even the first phase and struggled to get a shot up.
Exactly what I was about to say. We're seeing a lot of one-shot attacks, and some quite an awful lot of attacks that aren't even getting to the one-shot phase. Be good to see one of the teams starting to retain the ball a little bit. Well picked up by Wakeling. Off the back to Campbell Hager-Brown, who steps off the back of the court. So BEARSTED will bring it out. Not pressured this time by Supernova. Howard to Beckett, looking for Martinez on the outside. White tries to come to the feed. Martinez taking a really long shot again. Howard does well to retain the ball.
I would just like to see his teammates there just say to him, look, just take a moment, let's use up more of the clock, because he has taken about 3 or 4 of those shots from about 8 to 10 meters, and none of them have dropped yet. So I would like his division just to say to him, look, we're 2 goals up, let's just make these attacks a little bit longer, try and get opportunities that are going to give us a higher percentage of scoring.
Definitely, no, I completely agree with you. I think that is his style. His style is quite flamboyant, which is great to see, and I like to see the confidence. But you're right, I agree. I think somebody saying to him, just an extra pass, bring it in again, make another move. I think he's almost got too much time on the shot. But now let's see what John Campbell-Haggart can do from the free pass line. Quite a clinical free pass shooter.
Again, with that, we'll see it. If you haven't seen John's technique, just keep an eye on it here if it gets back out to him in the free pass position. That one,
no doubt now he's not going to take it, is he? He's going to go for the runner or something ridiculous, but there it is. The shot from behind the head doesn't go this time. Well picked up by Campbell-Haggart though. Contact on the shot by Kellaway sends Kathy Campbell-Haggart to the penalty line, who scores possibly their first penalty conversion of the game, bringing the score back to 7-6. It's exactly the kind of game that the neutrals wanted. So Dan Howard to Amy White, to Martinez. Beckett looking to feed again, looking that ball over the top. That's the move that we were on about. Ooh.
Oh, it somehow got its way.
Outrageous! Absolutely outrageous. The assist from the football.
Few butts, which is obviously no longer a rule.
Exactly that. Brilliant goal. Some might say a lucky goal for BEARSTED, but you've got to put it in still.
And the composure there from Dan Howard, just to realise that the boy's flying out of him, just hold it on for a little bit longer, and then lovely finish there under the post.
Good drive from Chambers. Soppit brings himself back up, off to Meads. Can't get it to go though. Well picked up by Soppit.
Yeah, good recovery there by Soppit. He was on the floor at one moment and got up and put loads of pressure on his boy to try and get it back in defence.
But didn't overcommit, which is the temptation when you've got to make up all that ground. Okay, what can Supernova do here? Great drive from Georgia Price-Bish. So aggressive the way she drives at the ball. Great to see. Good physicality at the post between Tull and Howard. Drury from the outside. She's been quite quiet so far this game.
Yeah, I was thinking exactly the same actually. Someone with experience on the international stage as well. Another option they have in that division. Definitely
a clinical shooter from the outside. I mean, you don't want to give her time on the ball. As soon as she's got time to set herself, she will most likely put the ball away. Chambers to Wiseman on the outside. Over to Kellaway, looking for that ball off the back. Look at Chambers. Wants that ball in space. An awful lot of space, a lot of pressure from Soppit, but nobody there to support him, so it goes back to Kellaway for the shot on the outside. But picked up by Campbell-Brown. You can see what they're trying to set up. I mean, almost broadcasting it a little bit too much. I'd like to see the Supernova boys maybe communicating that a little bit better between themselves, but again, nothing came from it. The girls preventing that feed.
It's quite interesting to see now the amount of pressure that BEARSTED are putting on as the ball comes out. With that 2-goal lead going into half-time, they want to try and maintain that. Yeah, really good drive there by Leanne Drury. Whistle's gone a little bit too early though, so she will have to go to the penalty line.
I think one of the most frustrating things that can happen as a player, you work so hard, you get through, you're free, and then Referee just stops blowing that whistle slightly too early, and you've got to do it all over again. Great drive back in though. That's the one. Finish it this time. Good work from Drury. Clever play.
The amount of times you see that sometimes when the player misses the penalty, how often do they then get the next goal? It's super important for their confidence as well.
Oh, definitely, definitely. Meads on the outside looking for the ball off the back. Chambers.
Diagonal. Beautiful pass.
We've seen Bearstead do that a few times now and again. I'd just like to see the Supernova boys communicating that a little bit better. They know that they want that ball into the space. They're not looking to take that shot. They just want to drive back in.
And that boy can definitely pick it up if they're around the post as well.
Good drive from Drury against White. But she got back. Good hands from White though. Knows exactly where she wants to put the ball.
Yeah, she wins the foul. I think this is what I'm seeing, the difference in that first half. Although that's a poor example of it, the range of passing from Bearstead seems to be just a little bit higher than Supernova, which is creating that opportunity for them.
Yeah, great point. Oh, the ball into Tull, but Howard's in a good position. Again, looking for the drive from Drury. Well picked up by Soppit.
He does really well, just to realise where the halfway line is there.
Not the one from Tull. I wonder if there was perhaps some shot clock pressure. I didn't get a chance to...
It looked like there was at least 22 seconds left on the clock, but it would have been interesting to know when the ball went over the line,
sure.
how much was left.
Okay, so looking at... That's a great move from Wiseman. Fakes one way, jukes the other.
But it's those diagonal passes that are just going to keep it open for Bearstead.
Exactly like you said, that range of passing. That's a brilliant goal from the outside from Chambers. His 4th of the game.
I think he's showing us in this first half exactly why he's top scorer in this promo division.
Okay, so the last 2 minutes of the half then. Bearstead leading 9-7. Good defence from Wiseman. Bearstead looking to extend the lead as they go into the half. Beckett to Martinez. Again, taking that shot from distance.
And again, falling short. I think they just need to, maybe, we haven't seen much of Mike Beckett, the Bearstead coach, at the moment. He seems quite relaxed over there. Maybe something to talk about at half-time.
Yeah, Callaway just stepping across at the wrong time, just as Kathy Campbell-Haggart was going for the runner. She pops it up, but again, maybe takes it a little bit too quick, and that's their 3rd penalty miss of the game. Campbell-Haggart, though, takes it from the outside. Outrageous goal. It didn't look like it had any business going in, but nothing can stop John Campbell-Haggart.
I just hope for Supernova's sake this is not a game where they regret those penalty misses and they're able to keep it nice and tight. Annie Martinez there driving in, winning the penalty. Looking to take it back to a 2-goal game.
Clever work from Martinez, as we've said a few times. That shot on the outside just isn't quite working for him yet, so it's good to see him actually pulling his player out by staying a little bit closer and then driving back in. Good conversion from him. I missed what happened there. I don't know if there was a collision there between...
I think as they were running by, he just ran into Samtel a little bit and they both ended up on the floor. Nothing malicious in that.
No. Now the game's been played in really good spirits. Good drive from Drury. Okay, so she's worked out that's what she needs to do. Clever play from her. Goal for goal at the moment. Ball over the top to Wiseman. Nice move. I like. Oh, got a lot of time for that feed. Kellaway then sends Chambers to the post. Meads from the outside. Good balanced shot, but just comes up a little bit short. Well picked up by Campbell-Haggart. Sorry. Good interception from Meads. He worked so hard to try and get that ball. Just tips it out. Really good half of Korfball. Lots to look forward to in the second half. Yeah, too much contact on that from Martinez against Tull. Can Tull convert this one? I think he missed his last penalty. Takes his time. Whoa!
Dribbles up the front.
Wow, the friendly call up the front of the basket, but if it goes in, it goes in. Brings the score level then with the last 30 seconds of the half. Howard on the outside, Martinez in the feed, looking for the drive. Beckett in the feed, looks for Martinez on the outside. That's a better range for him, but doesn't manage to hit it. So there's 9 on the clock. Howard will take the fade away. Well picked up by Supernova, looking for the lob. Soppit wins it, driving, ball off the back to Campbell Haggett. Oh!
That's so unlike John Haggett to miss that one.
I was sure that was going to be a goal.
I think the whole K2 were.
And that's it, that's the half. Wow, 10-all. Who can call it? I don't want to be the one to say which way it's going to go right now.
I mean, look, we've got two teams here. You can see they're really focusing on the feed, and Supernova have seemed to have figured it out in the last few minutes. You can see they're, making the most of that drive, and seems like Leanne Jury especially has just noticed that she's able to exploit her defender there, and I think that's really going to benefit Supernova going into this second half. But it's clear that BEARSTED have the passing range to do a lot of damage to this Supernova defence. But both teams just haven't been able to recycle the ball very well, and that's just meant it's opportunity after opportunity, and I think that's evident in the scoreline that we can see here at half time.
Great, well make sure you come and join us for the second half to work out who will win, who will gain promotion to the England Korfball League next year. Okay, welcome back to the second half of the promotion playoff final between BEARSTED and Supernova. 10-all at the break, tense stuff. How can we break the deadlock, Liam?
Well, I think BEARSTED need to start thinking about how they're going to structure their attacks a little bit more so they can get into that second phase, and I think they'll have a lot of opportunity from that and just wear the Supernova defence down, because you can see there just straight away Supernova going straight for that feed, and if BEARSTED can stop that like they just did there and the boys really high in the front defence, then they will win this game, I think.
Long shot from Martinez, not been put off at half time from taking those long shots. Looking for the drive now, but good feet from Tully. Picked up from Chambers though. BEARSTED retain. Beckett from the outside. Again, bit too far. I don't think we need to take that shot. They've shown that they can make some really good passing, really good vision, but they're not using it at the moment. But that's not to say they won't throughout the half. Picked up by Campbell Haggart. Shot on the outside from Soppit. Picked up by John Campbell Haggart at the back. After his wife, ball up. Picked up from Soppit. Doesn't go, but they retain the ball. Still 16 on the clock. They look to get Campbell Haggart on the outside. Zoe Wakeling looking to attack against Wiseman, but being really well marked. Good pick up from Chambers.
I think the patience was right there by Supernova. I think they just did need to make sure they were structured, but obviously Jack Chambers saw that the ball was coming out and picked it up really well.
Martinez taking that shot on the outside. That's a better shot from him, but it doesn't quite go. He just hits the back of the Korf. Bairstead again putting that pressure on the ball on the way out. Tull mishandled the ball through to Beckett. Good goal from her, really good composure. Punishing Supernova as they made a mistake on the way out.
It was just that cool and calmness again from Dan Howard, just to see that. He's had a few moments in this game where he's done that really, really well, and BEARSTED have taken the opportunity to take that lead in this first half.
Good
Second half,
drive from White. Martinez from the back, doesn't take it though. Back to Beckett, looking again for the ball over the top. It's a really nice idea. Really appreciate what she was trying to do, but just got the angle wrong. So Supernova in the attack. Wakeling into Soppit, looks for the drive. Good drive from her. Yeah, drew the contact from Wiseman. Sends Zoe Wakeling to the penalty line. Let's see if we can convert down this end a bit better than they did down the other end. Looks as if, though, Wakeling will be making way for Georgina Russell.
Well, that's really interesting, because obviously in a normal National League game or promo game, you could do that on purpose, obviously. But that was pre-planned, so there's no chance that they were trying to plan it for someone else to take that penalty. But John Campbell Haggart does finish it again to make it his 4th goal of the game.
Yeah, crucial conversion from Supernova. So Kellaway on the outside for Wiseman. Huge pressure from Russell. Meads from distance, but doesn't go. Hits the front, picks up by Wiseman. Off to Chambers. Looks for the fake. Goes for the underhand. Well picked up by Russell though. Chambers just frustrated with himself, but it was a good opportunity. Tull then to Morehouse. Looking for Price Bish. But well defended by Beckett. Out to Drury. Well picked up by Howard. Silky skills from Martinez, but okay, everyone just getting a little bit fired up, which is what you want to see. You want to see that the passion is there and people are playing to win. Meads will take from the outside then into Kellaway. Turns. Clever move from Kellaway. Realises that Campbell Haggart's just on the wrong side and she turns and squeezes the ball up. Takes BEARSTED out to a 12-11 lead. Ball off the back to Price Bish, looking to drive. Again, Beckett's reading that move really well now. Does the hard work, gets a block on the shot, but just follows through and sends Price Bish to the free pass line. The boys doing their best to double mark Tull at the post. Still manages to squeeze the shot up. Really clever play from Sam Tull there, realising that he's got the long arms, she can get the ball into him. Howard's the other side of the post, not focusing on defending him at the post. Tommy Soppit making way for Ollie Friston. So Anna White drives, ball off the back to Beckett. Dan Howard though, doesn't manage to get it to go. Good collect from him under the post. Doing what he does so well. Out to White. Martinez. Shot from distance. Better. Dan Howard. Looking for the overcommit, but it doesn't come. Morehouse does really well to keep his feet on the floor. But does draw a bit of contact, so Martinez is sent to the line as the free player. Yeah, takes the penalty.
It's a foul on Dan Howard as he was passing the ball to Andy Martinez there. He was very free to take the shots. That's what the referee has seen.
Looks as if BEARSTED are just warming a few people up, so we might see some substitutions in a moment. But first, Kathy Campbell-Brown takes a shot from distance. Friston and two new players in this division then for Supernova, Ollie Friston and Georgina Russell. Be interesting to see what they can introduce to the game. Ball over the top to Beckett, looking for that move that's worked so well for them in the past, but I think Drury just got tips on it and managed to dislodge it from reaching Beckett. Ollie Friston from distance, and his first shot's really short, well picked up by Chambers. Just needs to work his way into the game. Beckett, Martinez, back to Beckett, over to White. Beckett will take that one. That's her range. Dan Howe does well to retain the ball. Martinez driving through on Tull, doesn't quite handle it. Pressure now, zone 5 on the shot clock. Martinez drives in. Tull going for the reverse plan, but I think too much contact on the way through. So Martinez is sent to the line. Time out from Supernova.
I think what was really evident there was Andy Martinez's ball handling, the way he was able to take it from one side to the other, and then he had the support in place for him as well. They read exactly when they needed to offer that support for him, and then obviously the contact on his back drew the penalty. But I've seen that Johan's also looking to make some changes himself. Obviously he's made a couple already, but he's looking to maybe make some changes to try and offer something different, so we'll keep an eye on those changes as they come and when they come.
Yeah, just going back to the point that you were making a second ago, it's so important to have that support there. You can be the best player, you can have all the speed, you can have all the ability on the outside as much as you like, but if you don't have that support from the rest of your team, there's only so much that you can do. You know, you can only get so free and receive one pass, but if they're then overcommitting and you haven't got any offload to be able to get round, it's impossible. So really great to see that they're recognising that Martinez is a threat at the moment, probably along with Beckett as well. Yeah, so Liam, Bearsted just making a substitution. Anna White making way for Jo Hickey, another really, really experienced England international in her own right. So Martinez then will take his penalty. Yeah, really casual, really simple stuff from him. Taking Bearsted's lead out to 2. They lead 14-12. Substitution for Supernova. Some confusion about where Carl Naylor is coming into the division, but Naylor is on for Morehouse. Okay, so Tull off to Price Bish. Naylor looking to feed, but well read by Beckett. Yeah, bit too simple there, I think.
I'm really intrigued by these next few minutes now. If obviously the interception was well worked by Supernova, but I'm really interested to see if Bearsted pull away or if Supernova are able to pull one back, and it looks like they're able to do that straight away with Leanne Drury, and they keep it down to a one-goal game. Yeah,
really, really clever play between the girls there. Price Bish driving through, drawing both the girls, and Drury able to finish it off. Great composure from her. Good, almost interception from Friston. Does well to read the ball, but manages to win the ball back through a charge call against Chambers. Yeah, you're right. The changes in the game now could be crucial. I mean, both teams have made substitutions, so it'll be interesting to see which team, where the matchups can be exploited. So Tull looking for, again, to run both girls, doing a double block move. Looking for Drury in the outside, it's not going, so she's going to pass it. She was hoping over the top to Tull. I think they were expecting the feed to be cut by Howard. Did really well to know that Naylor's there, so he doesn't need to cut that feed. Meads, Chambers, Kellaway, out to Meads, shot from the outside. Short though, well picked up by Meads.
I love to see that from a player, even if they think the ball's going in. Chasing that ball is super important just to help your team maintain that possession.
Yeah, definitely. How many players just stand and admire their shot rather than following it in? Emma Wiseman thinks that she's not defended, but Georgina Russell was there, so it is deemed cutting. Naylor, Price Bish into Tully, early feed from him, looking for Price Bish. Nice short shot on the inside, but drops short. Well picked up by Naylor. girls working really hard on the outside, trying to get free. Price Bish. Oh, nice little tip back into Naylor. Drury from the outside. It's a good shot from her, but it just bobbles off the front. Tully picks it up, and they get a reset on the shot clock. Drury from the outside. She wants to take that one though, and it goes in. No collect. Doesn't need it. Well picked up by Drury. Jack Burt's just calling a stop in the play. Has he deemed that?
I think the from what I saw is that there was contact after the shot, so they were calling the free pass, but it went in, so they gave the goal. And then they're maybe just discussing the players here.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Well read, Liam, but it looks as if.
So
who's
Andy
that gone
Martinez,
against?
he's just got a yellow card, so he's going to have to go off. He's going to have to go off. So BEARSTED are going to be forced into a substitution here, and it looks like Carl Sieber's getting ready to come on.
Wow, I can't remember the last time at a Korfball finals that we've seen a card. I struggle to remember it. I'm sure someone can let us know. But in the meantime, Martinez is sent to the bench then, and Carl Sieber, again, another really, really experienced player, really flamboyant, plays in some ways a similar role to Martinez. He's definitely a goal scorer, so it's not a bad person to be able to bring into the game. Comes into attack, so we'll see what he can do now. Sieber, back to Howard. Good hands from Naylor. Well picked up by Sieber though. Out to Hickey, Sieber. Shot from the outside.
Almost identical shots there from Andy and Carl.
Shot from Carl. Nice and balanced. Oh, it's a nice one, but it doesn't just go. But it's good to see that he's got that energy and he's looking to shoot.
Yeah, planting those 2 feet as well. He's from distance, just making sure that he's got enough to propel that shot towards the basket, towards the court. I can see that BEARSTED also warming up Rob Summers. I wonder if they'll think about bringing him on as the game wears on. Another player who's got experienced National League pedigree.
For sure. Shot from Beckett. Well picked up by Howard, looking for the drive underneath, but goes back into Hickey, but doesn't quite go. BEARSTED looking for the higher percentage shot, looking a lot of the time to drive in, but just not converting it at the moment. With the score level at 14 all. Feed from Russell, out to Campbell Haggart, drops short. Friston fights for the ball under the post, but Meads picks it up and comes away with it. Okay, poor handling from Supernova means that. Oh, sorry, apologies. Poor handling from BEARSTED means that Supernova will retain the ball. Into Russell. Friston drives. Good drive from him, yeah. Just a little check of the hip, I think, from Josh Meads. Ollie Friston did well. He's sent to the penalty spot. Takes his time. Really great composure on that penalty. Really good to see. Good move from the University of Birmingham alumni.
Yeah, I think when those players go to the penalty spot, I think they've just got to have their routine. It doesn't matter what goes on, just practice that routine over and over again, and that would just build up their confidence. Lovely little finish there by Sasha Beckett under the post to draw the game even again. Yeah,
she's been a great player for BEARSTED in this game. Really showing her experience, really great composure. Really well supported by Dan Howard as well. You know, can't understate how much he's looking for her and supporting her play. Sam Toll wanting to take the fade away, but Joe Hickey just in the way, but nothing wrong with that. She's got to be in that position to defend her player. Looks like we will see another substitution for BEARSTED. Rob Summers will be coming on for Josh Meads. Good game from him, but again, Rob Summers, really experienced player, great player to be able to come into the game. Meanwhile, down the other end, Price Bish looking to take the running in shot instead of taking
well defended. I thought it was
the penalty. Yeah, good defensive positioning from Joe Hickey. Shot on the outside from Drury. Just not going at the moment, all dropping a little bit short. You do wonder how much this big pitch affects people's perspective, certainly. You haven't got, you know, those four walls that you're so used to seeing when you're playing on a smaller Korfball pitch.
I mean, BEARSTED were using that to their advantage a little bit right at the start of the game, but again, Supernova have done well just to slow it down in their attacks, I feel, over the last five minutes, with Leanne Jory taking far more shots on the outside as well, which is just opening it up for Supernova a little bit more.
Good ball over the top to Chambers, who's left free. Yeah, a bit of inexperience there from Ollie Friston, just leaving Jack Chambers free in a position where he's really clinical for his 5th of the game. Naylor over to Drury, she's going to take that one. That's a nice shot from her, but goes long. Tull picks it up well though. Good drive from Drury. Well read by Hickey though. Oh, squeezes the ball out to Howard.
That's the energy we want to see though by Sam Tull. He's still bringing it. He's going to keep trying to battle away there.
Yeah, free pass drawn by Emma Wiseman. Georgina Russell just coming through a bit too hard. So sends Chambers to the free pass line. Clinical free pass to Chambers is taker is Chambers. Ooh, trying to argue that Rob Summers and Emma Wiseman slightly too close together, but referee said it's okay. Play on, Kellaway, right under the post, just bobbles off the top. Well picked up by Chambers. Oh, it's all got a bit frantic. Yeah, poor pass by Summers. Would love to have seen them just have that composure just to hold the ball.
Yeah, you don't know what's happening there. You don't know whether they've seen an opportunity, but also, you know, in these games, you even saw it in the last game. Yeah, players are clearly wanting to rush. They've got that kind of excitement, those nerves running through them, and they do make decisions at a pace.
Yeah, for sure. Both teams seem a little bit on the frantic side at the moment, but that does mean that we're seeing an awful lot of free passes and penalties resulting from the ball being forced into the feed a little bit more. Oh, penalty for Kellaway, puts it away. Extends possession, leads out to 2 again, 17-15. I think that does a bit of a favour for Supernova, who needed to get Tull away from Howard. So long shot on the outside from Campbell Haggart. Friston drives through, but the ball can't get to him, so Emma Wiseman's able to pick it up. Sieber off the back to Hickey. Oh, passes it off to Beckett. She turns looking for the 2 boys on the outside who aren't going to work together, but Howard drives through but doesn't receive the ball. Sieber on the outside does well to retain the ball. Wants the ball off over to Hickey, but no. Poor pass means that it is picked up by Price Bish. Well read by Kellaway. Gives a little roar, tells her team to come on.
But those moments are so important in this game. Just even those small interceptions, just to relieve that pressure on the defence as well.
For sure, momentum is a huge part of this game. What a brilliant drive from Sieber. Just goes with the one hand and it doesn't go, but does so well to get through. Hickey, Sieber's in the post area against Tull. Oh, Hickey going for the underarm. I think she thought there was a bit of contact there, but again, just probably not the right shot to take. Oh, wow. John Campbell Haggart deciding he wanted to go from distance, but just being told off, I think, by his wife.
Yeah,
rightly so.
Oh, lovely pass again.
Oh, unlucky Dan Howard. What a great drive. Beckett, yep, great. Just slows it down. Tries to get a bit more composure, runs the block. Ball's forced out of her hands, I think she's saying. She didn't mean to let go of that, but best to retain.
Yep, I think referee Rob King agrees with you there.
Oh, we're going to see another substitution. It's as if Cassie Campbell Haggart is coming off and Zoe Wakeling is going to return to the pitch. Again, another ex-University of Birmingham alumni.
I thought she was just coming into the game actually when she got substituted off, so I'm keen to see how she's going to affect the attack here. Next time we get the opportunity.
Okay, so John Campbell Haggart up to Russell, out to Friston. He looks to feed. Too much contact from Emma Wiseman on Georgina Russell, running through. Sends John Campbell Haggart to the free pass line. Will we see the hat shot? Almost definitely. Takes his time, sets it up. Shot from a lot of pressure from Jack Chambers. Does really well to get out to Haggart. Sieber to Howard to Sieber. To Beckett. Back to Sieber on the outside. Great ball over to Hickey. Goes for the underarm, but it doesn't go. Playing some really nice angles, BEARSTED. I feel like Supernova are just getting caught on the back foot. I feel like they're almost not watching where the ball is. They're reacting to their player and just getting caught out slightly.
Yeah, but I would like to see BEARSTED just take even longer in attack, because they're taking those shots, but the percentage of them actually going in might not be that high.
For sure, you're right.
In and around, forcing it around the post. So to actually see them to move it around a little bit more like this.
Possession at this stage of the game, when you're
so important.
15, well, let's say 13 minutes left in the game. Possession now is crucial, particularly when you're only 3 goals up. So Russell turning, looking for John Campbell-Haggart, who just gets the wrong side of, or the right side of Chambers, I should say, but it doesn't go. Again, Supernova just rushing in their attacks, like you're saying, like to see from BEARSTED. I definitely want to see that from Supernova, just a bit more composure. Great drive through from Beckett. Again, really well fed from Howard, who's doing all the hard work down that end. Beckett from what should be her range, but it just comes up short. Supernova getting a little bit quiet now, even their supporters don't seem to be making quite as much noise as they were. Friston looking to drive. Russell on the back, really well defended by Wiseman.
Yeah, just really, really tight. That's what BEARSTED have just done really well.
Ooh.
Good hustle there by Rob Summers to keep it in. He got the look of the bounce off the Supernova player, but really, really good hustle from him.
Shot off the back from Beckett, goes in. Extends BEARSTED's lead. So we see a timeout from Supernova. Johan just rallying the troops. What do you think he'll be saying to them at this point, Liam?
Well, Supernova's attacks have been really, really, really quick over the last 5 to 10 minutes. They've not been able to seem to get the structure that they've wanted. So, I mean, he's got to look at it and say, why can't we not get the feed in like we've been wanting to this whole game? And it was working really well for them at the start of the second half. So he's obviously going to be thinking about that. But obviously just as important is making sure that they still stay solid in defence. And they've obviously leaked a couple of goals where a couple of players have been free, and that's just enabled BEARSTED to now take a 4-goal lead in this final.
It sounds as if we'll be having a substitution. Josh Meads returning to the game for Carl Sieber. Good showing from Sieber. I'm slightly disappointed to see him returning to the bench. Maybe we'll see him again, but with only 11 on the clock, perhaps not. I thought he was producing some good stuff, but not to say that Meads won't when he comes in. So okay, let's see what Supernova can do then. Tull wanting the ball to Drury, but not going, so off to the other side to Price Bish. High feed from Tull, looking to get the girls driving. Price Bish on the outside. Yeah, drops in. Can be as simple as that.
I think that's the first time that we've seen her actually take a shot on the outside. She's been so adamant to drive in at the feed this whole game. I'm hoping that's maybe Johan just saying to her, look, we need to be staking those shots on the outside as well as we're free. If they're going to drop off and try and stop us from getting those feeds, we need to try and punish them on the outside.
For sure, recognising what your defender's doing and reacting to it. So Kellaway in the feed. Wiseman looks to drive. Kellaway just turns though. Yeah, travel called. Well spotted by Rob King. So Supernova ball. Wakeling, Friston. Just the Supernova crowd just start to support their troops. 10 to go, they're 3 down. Certainly doable. Tull to Drury. Again, looking for that high feed. Wants the ball over the top though. This is where they were so clinical against Birmingham in this playoff semi-final. Looking for that ball over the top again. Howard does really well to read it though. Great drive from Price Bish. Great hands from Beckett, but no, just too much pressure.
Too late. That's what the referees are saying.
Substitution then for BEARSTED.
Substitution for BEARSTED.
Emma Wiseman making way for Gemma Bleeley. Meanwhile, Price Bish puts away the penalty, bringing it back to 2. (1917) to BEARSTED. Beckett looking for Howard in the field, looking over the top to Hickey. Ball off the back. Long shot from her, well picked up by Howard. Again, doing so much of the hard work.
Yeah, I think his role towards the last 10 minutes of this game is going to be super important for this BEARSTED side. If he can manage to recycle that ball really, really well. then they're going to have a really strong finish to this end. Referee's just having a conversation there about the actual decision, and that's what we get when we have duo refs. Got two pairs of eyes rather than one.
I'll be interested to see what they give here, because from where I'm sitting, I could just see that Sam Toll was just there. I don't know that he could have got any more out of the way. I mean, he's well within his right to stand his ground, but I think they deemed that he stepped into her path. So Joe Hickey will have the penalty.
I also think even if you move as a player there, any type of movement, the referees will give a penalty because they deem it as interference.
Oh.
So even if you do try and get out of the way, they would deem that you're interfering with the opportunity.
For sure. Just don't give them the look. Don't give them anything which is going to make them question your motives. Ball over the top from Friston, but well read by Kellaway. Clever from Chambers, just telling his troops, just calm down, let's just work it out, nice and calm. 2 up, good hands from Toll though. Well picked up, good hustle. Becker not wanting to give up though. Oh, she was deemed to get there first. All right then, so out to Meads on the outside. Just comes up short. Picked up by Tull. Drury. Pressure from Kellaway, yeah. Too much. Wakeling was there first. Draws the foul. End-to-end free passes and penalties now. So John Campbell-Haggart sent to the free pass line again. Well held by Friston. Good drive from Russell. Under a lot of pressure from Bealey. Bested's ball. Really need to see something different from Supernova at the moment. Rare poor pass from Bearsted.
Yeah, I would really like to see them work out how they're going to get some shots for John Campbell-Haggart. So even if they can get it in the feed and then give him a nice pass off the back, just to see, because we know that's where he's clinical from. So I think Supernova really need to try and work that, because we know how important his goals have been for this side this season.
For sure, he's definitely the threat down this end at the moment. It looks as if Johan is planning to make a substitution, so we'll keep an eye on that as it happens. But in the meanwhile, Beckett off the back to Meads, doesn't take it though. Hickey looking for the drive in, good drive from her, and the same again. But Toll does really well to keep his hands out of the way, but she puts it away, extending Bearsted's lead.
I think that support play there by Josh Meads was really good. He's driving off the side rather than coming around the post. He's driving off the side and just opens it up. He sees he's got to support Joe Hickey there, and that's a really good team goal between those two.
Premature change of ends from the players, with the score only at 2017. Confused everyone. Okay, so here we go. Wakeling. Campbell-Haggart looking for the feed. Turns and forces up a shot again, perhaps not the right one. I think he's feeling that weight of expectation on his shoulders, thinking, I've got to be the one to get us out of this problem. Howard from the outside. Hasn't seen many shots from him.
No, but his whole game today, supporting that division, has really helped pull him through with the work he's had to do under the post.
Well picked up by Summers. Yeah, Bears are doing really well to manage their squad, and it certainly is a squad. It feels as if there's not been much change in play or style or ability with any of the substitutions that have come into the game. Meads on the outside. Oh, just doesn't go. Howard does so well to get a hand to it, but just off the pitch, I think, as he touched the ball. So Price Bish making way for Holly O'Brien.
I think she's going to come back on the Jess. I think Johan's just pointing, he's going to try and bring her up into attack to try and offer another option in the attacking division there.
Oh, in the meantime, what a beautiful move from Beckett. Great support play from Meads. That is a real shame for Supernova. I mean, just as we were saying that that previous Supernova division needed some further support for Campbell-Haggart. Price Bish is a great option, but unfortunately she is now going into defence. So Zoe Wakeling will be making way for Georgia Price Bish, but into defence. So in the meantime, Supernova will attack. Drury on the outside, just comes up short though. Last 4 minutes of the game. 4 goals in it. Ball over the top to Kellaway, but just wrong side of the post. Oh, Friston forcing that ball, but it gets there. So Drury looking for the ball over the top to Tull. That's beautiful play.
Yeah,
really clever. Really clever. That Howard's been aware of that move all day, but just getting caught the wrong side that time. I think he's a little bit frustrated with himself, but
I'd love to see Supernova try that again in that next one. You know, they've done, if it's worked off well, try it again. Just try it again.
100%. You don't see teams do that enough.
And they need a quick goal.
Do it again. Something different might come from it, but it makes the defenders switch on to something. Rob Summers looking for the fadeaway, but doesn't go. So Supernova retain the ball.
Yeah, under a lot of pressure there by John Campbell-Haggett.
Okay, so Tull out to O'Brien. Does well to regather the ball. Looking for Tull, looking for Drury, but she's not there, so nope, turns down the pass to O'Brien. Over the top to Tull again. But the boys do really well to switch onto that and switch. Short shot from O'Brien, doesn't go.
Yeah, it feels like BEARSTED felt that was a really important moment to win the ball.
Kellaway shoots from the outside. Comes up short though. Oh! Well picked up by Friston. Naylor into Drury. Turns in the feed. Nice, but well picked up by Tully. But yeah, good positioning from Howard. Does really well to read that. The matchup between those two has been fantastic to watch this game. Really influential.
Yeah, I think it's something Johan called at the start of the game is how important Sam Tull would be to that division, and you know he's tried to offer the support in the feed and get those opportunities under them. You can see here with Natasha Beckett scoring 5 goals down one division and Jack doing the same down the other division for BEARSTED. It's those goals, and you know, scoring 5-6 goals is really important. You need one of your players to be doing that and finding those goals for you. In these types of games, I know that these games have been really important for players. For individual performances, we've seen players step up and really try and take these games by the scruff of the neck. And I think that we can see from the BEARSTED side the number of people who actually scored multiple goals has really helped them come through. But Supernova have given them a really good game. I mean, we're within 3 goals with 2.5 minutes left. And I guess Johan's here just saying, look, how are we going to set it up? How are we going to get some quick goals? But I think this experience in this BEARSTED side, especially in the last 10 minutes, has helped pull them through. And they're looking like they're going to be the likely promo final winners in returning to the National League. Yeah,
for sure. I think you called it exactly right. All the moves that were working so well for Supernova in those early moments, I think BEARSTED have just cottoned onto them. They've worked it out. They understand the movements they're trying to make and the players they're trying to play through, and they're just able to stop it. Supernova fans really trying to get behind their team, push them on for the last 2.5 minutes. Chambers takes a free pass. It's a nice one, but goes long. Rob Summers picks it up. Kellaway. Ball over the top to Bealey. Really nicely timed feed from Kellaway. 10 on the clock then. Good interception from Russell. Yeah, high pressure from BEARSTED.
Yeah, it was always going to come. Too much pressure there, though. Supernova needs to get this ball up quick.
Last 2 then. Drive from Tull. Into Drury. These two playing really well together. Yeah, that's the one. All over the top. Oh, he just mishandles it, I think. If he'd have caught that the first time,
yeah,
I think it would have been fine.
I agree with you there, Jess.
But again, that's the smarts of Dan Howard. He's read that all day long. He's played really well. Crucial for BEARSTED, I would say, has been Dan Howard. Both in defence and in attack, he's set up so many opportunities for Beckett in particular. Summers. It's Bealey in the feed, turns. Yeah, great play from her. Really good composure.
I think that's the goal that confirms BEARSTED's place back in the National League.
For sure, but to say nothing, against Supernova, I think a lot of people felt that BEARSTED were the favourites coming into today. I mean, clearly BEARSTED finishing the higher position in the Promo League, but as we've said, both games this season in the head-to-heads have only been decided by 1 goal. Supernova took out who were probably the favourites in the semi-final promo against Birmingham. But
I think that's the only thing that put people's doubts in their minds, is that these two teams have beaten each other during the regular season. And I guess as a player, you can go, well, they've beaten us once, there's a chance that they can do it again. But yeah, I think I agree, as they've played this game, BEARSTED are definitely the side deserving this. But I think a lot of these Supernova players didn't necessarily expect to be here at the end of the season. They've come together as a squad that's been put together in Johan in his first season with the club, and I guess he's going to be hoping to give them that same motivation to say, look, you can be here again next year. Let's build on this next year. Losing these finals is never fun, and you never want to be on that side of it, but all you can do is go again and try your absolute best. You've been here once, you know what it feels like now. Go and try again.
Great experience for a lot of these players. Russell, ball out to Price Bish, shot on the outside, but just comes up short. Nothing Campbell Haggett can do to collect that one. Series of poor passing as everyone gets a bit excited by the last 40 seconds of the game.
BEARSTED still marking the ball out, not wanting to concede, and I guess that ends up with that interception at the end.
Hickey off the back, Beckett, Howard on the side. Ball goes all the way around, back to Meads. Ball, nice turn. Yeah, I think they're right. Rob King's called that really well. Unfortunately, although there was contact, I think again Tully was just in a good position, and Hickey just turned into him and mishandled the ball. 3 seconds. Howard's going to shoot from the distance. Just hits the front. Time for Hickey to take her shot though, and it goes in. Have we called that as a buzzer beater? I'm not sure, but either way, BEARSTED then promoted back into the England Korfball Premier League. Great game, really good showing from Supernova. Really great to see that they came out really determined to do something. I know people have put holidays on hold for this game. So yeah, really, really impressive, like you were saying. Really great to see. Good work from Johan. He's put together a strong side. I think they're going to be contenders potentially to come back up next season. Who knows? Yeah,
I think it all depends on where they finished in the regional league.
Oh sure.
So I'm not quite sure who was the first team who finished. Obviously, with Highbury getting relegated this season, they'll drop back down into that promo league as well. I think Elk were the highest finishing team, but I know they've only got 2 teams, so they can't necessarily meet the regulations that are in place for teams to play in the National League, which means they have 3 teams. So Supernova will probably be given that chance again to compete in the promo division, and they go over there to thank their fans. Johan said, I was planning to be here. Their players weren't planning to be in here today, so they've absolutely loved this experience. You can see that they've got smiles on their face, even though they're on the losing side, and they really appreciate the fans who have come out to support them today. But I think the right team is going up at the end of the day, back up to the National League, and we'll see BEARSTED, I guess, at the end of September, beginning of October, back playing at the very highest tier of English korfball.
For sure, well deserved, really well deserved for BEARSTED. Really utilising that experience they've got in the squad, and again, like we said during the game, a true squad performance from them. The performance didn't dip as they made any of their substitutions. Really impressive stuff from Mike Beckett. Excited to see what BEARSTED can do next season. And what a great game, what a great way to lead us into then the finals coming up, the final between Beck. Can they go? Can they do the three-peat? Can they do it? Or let's not discount Bristol Thunder. I mean, what a season they've had. So yeah, come back shortly, join us then for the final.